Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today I am doing March Mystery Madness. This is my first video. I am going over my single books that I have in my TBR. I picked out 10 books that have single words on the cover and I have no idea what these books are about. I just pulled them out because they had one word on the cover. So these are a possibility that I could pick one of these to read for the month of March, but of course I'm not going to read all of them. So here we go. I have 10 books that I pulled out that I wanted to, really excited to read because I do own them. They're in my TBR. So here we go. Let's start. And most of these are new authors to me that I haven't tried yet, so that's pretty fun. Okay, so the first one I picked out is called Haunted by Heather Graham. Now, I have not read Heather Graham yet. I think I read one chapter one day and I really enjoyed what I read, but I never finished an entire book. So this one, it says, when does a gift become a curse? So I read a little bit of the synopsis on the back. It's about this man. His name is Matt. And he does not believe in ghosts, and he buys this house, and this house is haunted. So it looks really interesting and seems very fun and fast-paced, I think, to read. So I may read this one. So Haunted, very cool. I don't know if it's part of a series. I have all my books mixed up, so I'm sorry if I picked a book that was in a series. Okay, so the next one really caught my eye mainly because of the cover, and I have this one. It is called Deceived by James Scott Bell. Look at that cover. I love the cover. I have no idea what this one is about, so I am going to read the back or something. She thinks she knows who she is and what she wants, but when the web gets terribly tangled, is her game of deception a clever lie or a deadly trap? Deadly trap. So if I got this correctly, it's about three people who find two bodies on an island, and one is filled with diamonds. I have no idea what the synopsis is, but anyway, so after they find the stolen diamonds, Liz, the main character, is faced with some questions: truth or lies, stop or keeping moving, or all are played out. So she's stuck with some questions. The stunning suspense. It's a suspense thriller. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be liking this one, but we'll see. So that's that one. Okay, the next one is called Her. And this is by Harriet Lane. I had to look on the spine because they put the sticker on it. It says, you don't remember her, but she remembers you. So that seems interesting. I love the cover. So I'm going to go into this one really, really blindly. But that is pretty neat. It says a chiller, a small jewel of a suspense novel. A chilling tale that begs you to peek at the last page. So yeah, it seems really interesting. So we will see if I pick that one up. Okay, so the next one, I love things about mental illness. So I have this in my stash, and this one is Asylum. And this is by Jeanette de Bavauer. I have no idea what this one's about. So let's read a little bit of the back. So, or the front. Okay, so it's about an orphanage that has bad things that happen. One terribly important thing in common: we were mistakes. I never really understood what that meant, but Sister said it often enough that I knew it must be true. We came from villages, farms, even from cities. Let's see, those who brought us in were fed the lies. of course, he can keep his favorite blanket. Yeah. Well, we were theirs, all right, but love didn't have anything to do with it. So, yeah, this seems like really interesting. It takes place in 1950s. So, yeah, so that sounds interesting. This I may pick up because I love reading things about orphans and stuff like that. So that's an opportunity, a possibility, I guess. Okay, so the next one is an author I read one book by, and she, the book that I read was Run, Jane, Run, and it was about memory loss, which I love memory loss books, so I had to pick up one of her other books, and I had it on my shelf for a long time. So the book that has one word title is Heartstopper by Troi Felding. So I have a mass paperback old book, and it says being pretty has its price, thrills and chills with suspense. So yeah, let's see. Troi Felding takes readers on a terror-charged hunt with a serial killer holding a small South Florida town in a vice grip of fear, suspense, suspicion, and violence. So yeah, this takes place in Florida, and it looks pretty interesting. Oh wow, the price of this book was $128. That's crazy. I did not pay $128, but yeah. So that's pretty neat. I got that in the library sale probably. All right, so the next one is I don't think I read this author. I may have read her nonfiction book, but I haven't read her fiction books. So the book is called Accused by Lisa Scottolini. Scottolini, anyway, this one, she's his only hope for justice. That's what it says on the front. And Harlan Coben put a quote here on the front. And Harlan Coben is a New Jersey author. So it says, Scottolini writes riveting thrillers that keep me up all night with plots that twist and turn. So, yeah. So let's see, I don't really want to know anything about this, but it looks like it is a law firm type thing. Accused is a scorcher of a story. You'll be riveted till the very last page. So yeah, I think that this is part of a series because it does say about the law firm, the all-female law firm that this takes place in. It says the law firm has always been on the side of what is right, but sometimes true justice isn't black and white. So that's what's quoted on the top. So an interesting book. I may pick this one up as well. I don't know yet. So that's that one. And what number are we up to? I don't know, 6? I don't remember what number I'm up to, but I have the next book. And the next book is called Out, and I am not going to attempt to say the author's name. So, yeah. This one has been on my shelf for a while. It's a winner of a Japan's Grand Prix for crime fiction. So, yeah, a nervy thriller. Out has the force of a juicy scandal, a potent cocktail of urban blight, perverse feminism, and vigilante justice. That's what it says on the front. I love the cover. That's pretty interesting. I don't know why I bought this, but anyway, it says nothing in Japanese literature prepares us for the stark, tension-filled, plot-driven realism of this author's Out. It's a mystery. This mesmerizing novel tells the story of a brutal murder in the staid Tokyo suburbs as a young mother who works the night shift making boxed lunches strangles her abusive husband and then seeks the help of her co-workers dispose of the body and cover up her crime. The coolly intelligent Masako emerges as the plot's ringleader, but quickly discovers that this killing is merely the beginning, as it leads to a terrifying foray into the violent underbelly of Japanese society. Wow, this seems really intriguing and, yeah, suspenseful. So, yeah, it's called Out. Okay, so the next one is called Dismantled, and this is by Jennifer McMahon. I don't know if I said her name right or not, but this one I know is about child abuse, I believe. One of the brightest new stars of literary suspense. Tell me your biggest secret. So let's see what it says on the back. Now I have glasses on, so it's very hard to read in the dark too. It says, let's see. So I am wrong about that synopsis. So let's see what this Dismantled is. It says, when Henry, Tess, Winnie, and Suze form the Compassionate Dismantles in college, the first rule of their manifesto is to understand the nature of a thing. It must be taken apart. But their penchant for acts of meaningful vandalism and elaborate, often dangerous pranks results in Suze's death in the woods of Vermont, a tragedy that surviving dismanters decide to cover up. So, yeah, and then it says it could be a prank victim to suicide. It sets off a chain of terrifying events that threatens to tear apart their world and engulf their inquisitive 9-year-old daughter, Emma. Is there someone who wants to reveal their secrets, or is it possible Suze has found a way to enact revenge? So, yeah, this seems brutal, and I don't know. So we'll see if I read that one. Okay, so the last two books I have are both from the same author. Now, I believe I read this author in the 1980s and 1990s when I was traveling from New York to the city, from Staten Island to Manhattan, on a train and on a ferry boat. Yes, I did a lot of reading in those days, but I did not write anything down, or yeah, I didn't keep track of my reading at all. I just read and read and read while I was traveling. So these books were on in my bookshelf for a long time. So I believe I read this author before, but I don't know. So the author I picked out two books from are Sandra Brown, and I picked out Lethal. And yeah, I believe I read this author before. I kind of like when I read Daniel Steele. So that was like years ago. So we'll see if I like this book. This is a really old book that I had on my shelf. Let's see if it even has a synopsis in the Okay, so it says, Anna Gillette should have thought twice before rushing out to help the sick man her little girl spotted in their yard. Now the desperate, armed, and dangerous suspect, wanted by the police for murdering 7 people, has them in his grip. Lee promises Honor he won't hurt them as he explains his mission to retrieve a very valuable item her late husband possessed before others with criminal intent get there first, and he's going to do what has to be done no matter the cost. Yeah, this seems really fun and interesting. So it's called Lethal, and we'll see if I read this one. So that's that one. And the last book that I have picked out for same author, Sandra Brown, is A Deadline, and this one is a mass paperback type book. So she's a masterful storyteller, so we'll see. What is this one about? Let's see. Now remember, I I haven't read any of the books, so I'm reading the synopsis right now. So that's, yeah. Let's see. This is a heart-pounding thriller about a journalist hot on the trail of two domestic terrorists who, for decades, has eluded capture. Let's see. So this seems interesting. There's some FBI information in here. Yeah, a novelist who can't write them fast enough. So yeah, so that is this one. And yeah, so that's it. So I have 10 books, 10 options to read for the single prompt. Yeah, I have lots to choose from, but I read very, very slowly, so I don't know if I'm even going to get to one of these or not, but that's options. If you have read any of these and you suggest that I actually read them, and maybe I will move them up my TBR, that would be even helpful for me. So yeah, so I'm dropping them. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.